please keep it down as far as the noise goes. We have 10 minutes left, and we'd like to get in as much from the candidates as possible. In this round, each candidate will be given an opportunity to ask a question to the other candidate. The candidate will have 2 minutes to respond. Each candidate will have a choice to rebut and will be given a 1-minute time limit for the rebuttal. As far as who goes first?
Would you like? I'm more than happy to go first. It's actually a topic that was spoken about earlier. You know, last month, Commissioner Kelly, Police Commissioner Kelly, was out here in the district in Middleville, and he thanked me for the work that we've done together to keep this city safe. Earlier, we received a question on a bill that is now a law, that has been law for 2 years, and it's proven to bring down crime. It's meant to have the immigrant community not fear law enforcement. And as I mentioned when I spoke about the bill, it was supported by all 5 district attorneys, Department of Corrections, the police department.
What's the question?
The question is, my opponent has sent out negative messages about this bill. And my question to my opponent is,
spit it out.
Since Police Commissioner Ray Kelly supports this bill, are you saying that you know more about public safety than our own commissioner, Police Commissioner Kelly? Do you know more about public safety than me?
The reason Commissioner Kelly is against the bill is because Commissioner
Kelly supports the bill.
Let him answer.
The reason Commissioner Kelly... I know you're afraid of what I'm going to say, but it's going to happen anyway.
2-minute response period followed by a rebuttal.
Commissioner Kelly, understandably, does not want the police department to turn into another arm of immigration and customs. That's why he does not come out strongly against the bill. That's it. I am very proud of all the mailers that we have sent out. Immigration... This bill concerned if you are arrested for a crime, in addition to being in the country illegally, you used to be at Rikers Island. Just going back to 2011. Unfortunately now, under certain crimes, you're released back into the streets. Councilmember Peter Vallone, a former prosecutor, said, and I quote, "This will make our streets more dangerous." It's not just me that's saying this. He's a former prosecutor. He listed several examples of people that would have been re-released, people who committed low crimes, and then went on to commit serious felonies. In addition, this bill talked about, well, if they have no criminal history. Lots of people come from overseas that we don't have the criminal record of all these countries. They don't have as good a process and computer systems as we do. I think this will make the community more dangerous. That's why I was against it. I want to increase integration in our immigrant community. That's why I propose, if I get elected, I want to help foster a small business council for the Polish community in Ridgewood. That area has thousands of new immigrants coming into the area. That has thousands of new immigrants coming to the area that I feel we could have outreach still. My opponent supported a bill that will make our neighborhood more dangerous. Peter Vallone said it would be more dangerous, and that's why we sent out a mailer saying that this community will be more dangerous because of this bill.
Good answer.
Now in 1 minute, rebuttal, please.
The fact speaks for itself. 5 district attorneys support this bill. The commissioner of the police department supports this bill. It's a public safety bill. It's meant for immigrant communities to not fear law enforcement when they have information about a crime, that they should come forward and help with an investigation. I want the people in this room to know that whenever anybody is arrested for a serious crime, regardless of what their immigration status is, they end up at Rikers Island. If anybody is a member of a crime or on the terrorist watch list, they will go to Rikers Island as well and be held indefinitely until INS gets there. Thank you.
Question by candidate Carolina.
You speak so often about Ray Kelly, and then if you think he's so great and the police are doing such a good job, why did you endorse Bill de Blasio, who says he's going to fire Ray Kelly and stop the frisk?
Did they hire Bill Pratt?
2 1-minute response.
Well, there is no good community to live in, to raise a family, to open a business if you do not have public safety. I know that as your council member, and let me thank the 104th Precinct, Partners in Crime. They have brought down crime 6% since last year. And since I've been council member, every year. Do I believe that my next mayor, who I believe it to be Bill de Blasio, cares as much as I care about public safety? Yes. Who he picks as his police commissioner, he has not included me in on that conversation. I imagine he'll wait till he has the opportunity to put a transition team together, but that's not going to happen until after November 5th. I'm proud of my record on public safety. I chair the Fire and Criminal Justice Committee on the City Council. Every year, I've led the fight to stop the mayor from closing fire companies. You know, 2 of those companies were serving our district. A few weeks ago, there was a major fire in Middle Village, a 5-alarm. There was over 20 fire companies fighting that fire. 2 of those companies would not have been there if the mayor had his way.
That's right.
I led the fight to keep those companies safe. There's no issue of greater importance to me than keeping our communities safe. Thank you.
The 1-minute rebuttal.
If anybody thinks that Bill de Blasio is going to keep a good job of keeping our community safe, they clearly have not been paying attention to what's coming out of his mouth. He openly praises David Dinkins as a good mayor, as if somehow we didn't have the problems of the 1980s and 1970s, and as if all the crime that we had just never happened. That's why I support Joe Lota, and that's why I support things like Stop and Frisk, because we want to keep our community safe.
We're going to try to get in one more question from each candidate.
You want me to ask my opponent? Okay, good. This is the question I'd like to ask my opponent, since I get a second time. Your campaign messaging, today you've attacked my record of bringing back resources to the community. You say stuff about discretionary funds and how we rank somewhere on a list. You have pledged to the Middle Village property owners that, given the opportunity to go to the council, that you're going to work better with the next speaker, that you're going to play politics to get more discretionary dollars. By the way, discretionary dollars are tens of thousands of dollars. They're less than 1% of the overall city budget. And a few weeks ago, you filled out a questionnaire, and you said, you know, the way they do these discretionary funds, they really aren't fair. Every district should get the same amount. A charge that I've been leading to reform. On the council, I said to the speaker, I said to the New York Times, I went on national news, I said that this process is unfair and
Question, please. Question, please.
My question is, I'm curious to know where my opponent stands on this issue. He is pandering to the voters and speaking out of both sides of his mouth when he talks about discretionary funds. Where do you stand? Do you stand for reform, or are you going to be the next speaker's lackey? Are you going to be playing politics for the next speaker?
Response.
Are you going to represent the people of the 30th Council District?
As is well known now, because we've all been suffering, is that our district ranked 46 out of 51 out of the discretionary budget. Yes, a small portion of the overall city budget, but 100% of the budget that the city councilman can serve and controls. And that's where our incumbent unfortunately fails. When it comes to discretionary funding, I'll institute participatory budgeting. I'll institute participatory budgeting, or what's known as PB, which allows citizens in our district to vote on major projects. That's something our council member hasn't done. It increases transparency. And right, you know what? I'll admit, it's tough to get discretionary funding. But right now, that's the job. It's a tough job. And excuses don't cut it.
It's not
Okay. We're gonna have one last quick question, and this will be for candidate number 1. No, we have to stop. Actually, we have.
I got to rebut. No, I don't get
Okay. There will be, due to time restrictions, we're going to try to make this even where each candidate asks 2 questions, and in this case, we have a question from candidate Caruana, and there will be a response period.
Robert's Rules of Order, Skinner, get the gavel.
The rules were 2 questions. This is 4 questions.
Question, please.
Shut up! Shut up, no!
Let's press the time right now.
I was endorsed by a group known as Citizens Union, a good government group, after my review process. They pulled the endorsement after the incumbent had several council members, as reported, call and complain, and have put their government elitist machine into work. My question to the council member is, you had 5 years in office. Why did the good government group Citizens Union endorse you?
What I know about the Citizens Union endorsement is what I've read in multiple news outlets. What they said, and they said it clear, to New York Post, Queens Chronicle, Cranes, New York, they said that they didn't endorse your campaign for city council because your campaign messaging was racist.
Not what they said.
Peter Malone and everyone in
No rebuttal right now.
Gary. Closing, 1 minute.
We're going to have closing remarks, 1 minute from each candidate.
Okay. I know tonight's debate was very heated and spirited. I want to thank Craig Caruana for being here to debate on the issues of importance. There's so much that I'm proud of that I've been able to accomplish for this district. And while I'm proud of the work that we've done to improve the quality of education, to keep our streets safe, to protect our seniors, I know there's still so much more to do, and that's why I'm running for re-election. I hope to win your support on November 5th, so this community and the communities throughout the 30th Council District can remain some of the best communities to live and to raise a family.
Closing remarks, 1 minute, candidate Caruana.
Thank you truly to everyone coming out tonight, including Councilmember Crowley. We've had a great debate. You know, I love these neighborhoods. That's why I moved back to them. I like the idea that I could go to the same church that my parents and grandparents did when they were younger. And I want to keep these neighborhoods great. But we have to recognize a lot is changing. And I want to provide leadership for that change, to keep what's working and to change what's not. I want to be your advocate in City Hall. All too often, it could feel as if there's just too much going on and impersonal forces either ruin our neighborhoods or affect our quality of life. It's in those moments you need someone who could punch at the same city level, who could advocate for you truly as if you're in the room. That's what I want to do for you. That's what I'll do when I'm your councilman.
And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this evening's debate. We'd like to thank everyone for their passion and enthusiasm.